roustabout.
Hey, this is Jason Rouse, and welcome to another episode of Roustabout. As you can see, I'm here down on South Congress in beautiful Austin, Texas, with a bit of overcast and what you would call Texas chilly weather, which would be a Winnipeg summer. On the show today, my guest, all the way from Canada, that Canadian guy, Glenn Foster's with me.
Hey.
We're going to take a little walk around South Congress and get to know each other.
Yeah.
Since that we've known each other, I would say the first time I saw you, I would say would be Vancouver. And I want to say maybe with the Donnie Coy in 1996.
Holy shit.
96. You might have even been on the show with Scott Harris.
Could have been.
You know what I mean?
Could have been, yeah.
And I think I was all excited about meeting Donnie face to face. I knew him from his reputation as a comedian in Hamilton.
Okay.
And then when him and Scott Harris showed up to Vancouver Yuks, and I'd only been doing comedy for maybe weeks at that time.
Yeah.
I was greeted with Donnie's "I don't care where you're from." I was pretty stoked to meet a fellow comic, and Scott Harris wasn't much. Scott actually grew on me as we matured as co-workers and comedians, but I think that was the first time I'd seen you, probably in the summer in Vancouver. Is that possible?
So it's entirely possible. 96 would mean I would have been doing it, almost 30 years at that point? No, not.
Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
You'd already had.
Yeah, I'd already had a couple Just for Laughs.
Yeah,
and
galas.
stuff. Comedy Now.
No.
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 The first one was 2000 Comedy
That's
Now.
right.
That's right, yeah. Oh, I know what. Comics.
CBC Comics.
CBC Comics, definitely.
That
sure.
That was like probably the year I started comedy, 96.
Oh man, that comics episode that I did, like, this is the benefit of public money. Like, so there was a B-roll part.
Yes.
So the idea was that you would do the stand-up part, and they would intercut it with what they'd say would be your B-roll, which would be a little sketch or whatever, quick little thing, low budget,
Yes.
right? Well, no. I pitched them this idea of an infomercial about infomercials,
Okay.
right? And they ended up bringing in an audience
Yeah.
to shoot this thing. Like, they made it, there's no CGI or anything back then, so they had to bring in, like, build a set for this fake infomercial, bring in an audience. It's still one of my favorite things I've ever done ever. It's like there's so many funny lines in it. You know, it's like its own little goofy little parody sketch.
Now,
you know?
if I remember, were they cutting these into the stand-up special?
Yeah.
That didn't really work, though, did it? No.
But you know why they did it?
You got away with a high-budget set, and
Yes.
you feel like a Canadian hero because of it, right? Is that how you stick it to the man? Is you try and get an inflated studio budget? Well, I'll tell you, I taped in 2000. And they did not offer us any of these extra budget
at
things.
comics?
Yeah.
You taped comics?
No,
No.
it was a Comedy Now.
Oh yeah, Comedy Now, no budget at all. In fact,
No.
they wouldn't even change the background.
No,
It's
it was
orange, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
The background, like, Comedy Now is a painful show to watch because the background is like, you're just glowing against it. It's like
It was a Bollywood set. It was exactly as a Bollywood set. I just remember going, why are there balconies? Why did you put balconies in on this? This is not the Taj Mahal. This is the fucking Masonic temple, right? Is that
Yeah,
what
and you
it
know
was?
what? The damn thing still runs. It still runs.
Go.
On Canada. Much Music. It used to be Much Music.
Yeah.
But there's not much music on Much Music.
No.
So now it's just called Much.
Change the name. Yeah, that's
Much.
right. No, let me ask you the $1 million question.
Oh.
I'll tell you mine if you tell me yours.
Sure.
What did you get for your Comedy Now?
10 grand.
Okay, I got $2,300. I think it was. Yeah, 10,000 Canadian.
Yeah.
That was probably about like $7,000 now, American.
Yeah, well, somewhere in there, I guess.
Somewhere, right?
Yeah, nobody got that much. I think I got that. And I was also,
No.
I think, the only person to do two
Okay.
1 hours.
Yeah.
Because everyone else was a half hour,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, and most
So-
people couldn't do an hour. They had a club set, which I quickly realized not all that's going to translate to an hour of television.
Right.
What you're doing
Right.
in Ajax.
Yeah. And the thing about television too is, don't give them everything. Why? You know, the whole notion is television is to get people to come and see you live,
Yeah.
right? If you've done your whole act, and there are things that I try to avoid when doing a TV set. If I don't have complete editorial control over it, and you usually don't, usually at zero,
Yeah.
then I will. I won't have any callbacks because you never know if they're going to cut out your
Yeah.
setup line.
I've seen that
right.
flounder and like, oh God, it looks so bad.
Yeah.
Jay Leno never was ever done a special.
No.
No.
Never.
Jay Leno's never, for that reason. He's like, why would I do that? No one will come and see me live.
Yeah. Huh.
No, now all you have to do is put out a special and people will come and see you live. It doesn't
Yeah,
have to
but
be
here's the
good.
thing: if you show up, if they show up, and they see what you did in your special, as opposed to, something new,
Yeah.
right? That's the thing. Comedy's not like music. People want to hear the same songs over and over. They don't want to hear the same jokes. Right? A few, they want to hear a few select maybe favorites.
Dice, for
But-
example.
Yeah, exactly.
He'll come out and do his hits, but that's after he's done an hour and
There you
10.
go. Exactly.
He'll unplot him out. He goes, all right, here we go, hickory dickory.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
never going to get away from that. And
Yeah.
he's already given him a proper show
Right.
before he's
yeah.
even thrown out the
he's
bonus
not,
stuff.
He's not resting on it.
No.
Yeah. He's giving the people what they want.
So now, let's just jump up to 2026. Now you are in a situation where what you've done in comedy in the last 40 years is irrelevant here. No one gives a shit
In Austin.
in America. Like,
Oh yeah.
my resume when I showed up here originally, I thought it would have some weight,
yeah.
and all it was weight. It didn't really.
Oh, you've been to Finland. Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you tell them you did TV in Russia?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd be telling them that.
No, none of it.
You
None of
wanna
it
work in our
stands.
country, but
None of it stands. Even the shit I did under their umbrella. Comedy's changed so much in the last 10 years that now you're here in Austin, Texas,
yeah.
in a bread line on a comedy game show, trying to gain relevancy.
Yeah.
And you cannot have an elevator that rises as quickly as what's going on here.
Oh no, it's crazy. Yeah.
It is
It's
crazy.
it's a career lottery.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not entirely though, because there are a lot of people that, the number of people that I see on stage here in Austin, and part of their intro is he's been on Kill Tony.
Yeah.
And didn't mean he did well on Kill Tony.
No. You
know?
can put that on a
And
flyer and still
and
sell 10 tickets.
It's
if you
still
bomb.
crazy though. It's still crazy that it's kind of magical, but it's like a little fairyland that you pop into, and you
water
can
park.
walk around it, and do sets, and you know,
Yeah.
and there's a chance you'll do some sets in one of the nicer rooms, and then there's the rocket launching pad, Kill Tony, right? But
Yeah.
you still have to
Deliver.
have your rockets ready to fire.
Yes.
The
You
number of people I
find-
hear that show that just have no concept
It's very
of what
Peter
a minute
Pan.
is.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
You
This
know?
is City of the
Hey,
Light
Austin,
Runners.
how y'all doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in here from Cleveland.
Yeah. 40 seconds
You
will go
have a
by.
minute.
Yeah.
You have a minute.
Chop, chop. But you know that from doing Canadian television,
Yes.
that the last thing that you wanted to do on Canadian TV is run the light. Because
Oh.
you're out of work
Yeah.
if you run the light on Canadian television.
Yeah.
You'll never get another opportunity.
Well, what happens if you run the light on American television?
I think they kill you.
Well, maybe they wanted to. So
Oh, you came out for that,
My
Nate.
very first.
Oh, that's right. You told me you blew the light at the Improv.
The Improv. Evening at the Improv, like one of the premier comedy show of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Bud Friedman's there watching my set, and the host is Tony Curtis, like the superstar Tony. Like, because back in the day when comedy was first becoming a thing, it was like a new thing, and all the big Hollywood people wanted to be involved,
Yeah.
So it was like a real feather in your cap to be able to host Evening at the Improv.
Yeah.
So Tony Curtis is hosting. I'm way past my 8 I was supposed to do. I think I ended up being closer to 12, but around.
Yeah.
So at one point, and I'm just so oblivious because I'm so young. I'm a year off amateur night.
How old are you in Hollywood? Was it 86?
No, it was 81.
81.
Yeah, I'm 21 years old.
What inspired you? Was it Howard? Howie? Was it Howie?
What do you mean?
Was Howie down there? Was
Howie Mandel? No, I never met Howie Mandel in the day.
Okay.
I never met Jim Carrey because they were both gone.
Ah.
Right? And I had a double start to comedy anyway, so. But what was I going to say? Yeah, so Tony Curtis, while I'm still talking, comes up on stage.
Yikes.
And puts his arm around my shoulder while I finish my last 30 seconds because I am going to get every bit that I wrote out on this.
Yes.
Right? Because it was before I had the technology to time a set or videotape and figure out how long the last.
You never watch?
Yeah, but I was starstruck, Christ.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, Bud Friedman's watching this, and that's no way to introduce yourself to Bud Friedman.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's hard to find a place.
And I didn't even know at the time. This is how oblivious I was.
You had no manager, like you just had gone and a ticket down there and said, "I'm going for it."
No. Here's what happened. So people don't know this in general. But, and I'm not saying it's 100% that I even know it, but this is what I heard. That Evening at the Improv, believe it or not, was a Canadian production.
Oh, is that
and there was government money.
Wayne and Schuster money?
I don't know. But they got funding to make a production, and they had to shoot it in the States because I don't know whatever the reason, but the only reason there were Canadians on it is because of Canadian funding. So you had to put a
mandatory
Canadian on every. This is what I heard.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't make sense really that we'd fly Canadians, and put us up in hotels.
Yeah.
Right.
Unless the fix was in, you guys were just feeders.
I guess
for the budget.
Yeah.
Isn't that hurt?
Nonetheless.
Yeah, it sucks. Canadians are brought in as what do they call when they bring in batters that can always knock it out of the park?
Oh, pitch hitters?
Pitch hitters. They go, okay, show's dipped, bring in the Canadians, and then they sit you out on the bench after you knock the ball out of the park. It's brutal. This place is super funky. This pool is up here is like a Quentin Tarantino movie. It's got.
There's a pool up here?
Yeah.
Oh,
Right up in here. It's super wild. All this old signs and stuff.
This is such a funky,
Yeah.
This is a motel, right?
Yeah. You could stay here
Really?
and do heroin.
Look at this.
Yeah. You could live up there all summer. You wouldn't be angry, would you? Yeah, the city's got a lot of great stuff in it. These little cool fluorescent-y, what are you gonna say? This is 50s, right? 1950s? This is almost like a drawing from a Jetsons episode.
Yeah.
Right?
James Bond early
Yeah.
James Bond movie.
Yeah, there should be a panther by the pool.
Yeah.
Right?
I wouldn't swim, it's full of piranha.
And it's during Pride, that thing is topped with semen. They're just all over the place. Yeah, it's a very gay-friendly. It's Church and Wellesley with a spa.
I gotta take a picture of it.
Yeah.
Look at the signage.
Super cool.
It is a super cool signage.
You got all these cool little shops, and then it kind of modernizes here. And then you go down over the Colorado River. It's quite cool.
Right.
Yeah.
I've made 2 significant discoveries while I was here.
Okay.
One is senior bus pass, $1.25.
I know.
For the whole day.
Yes.
And a 24-hour day.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, and it's clean.
So I spent a fortune on Ubers in the first couple days.
Yeah, that's it.
And then I started looking into it, and I was like, oh, and not only that, but I had inadvertently booked a hotel that's so close to a beeline bus ride.
Yep.
Right? So saving a fortune there. And the other thing I discovered was, it's a 2-parter really, 7-Eleven hot dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like two for $3.50 or something like that.
They got deals down here.
It's insane.
Yeah.
And Whole Foods.
You down? Oh, yeah, that's
This
right.
one way over down
Yeah.
here, real big fancy Whole Foods.
Beautiful.
They have like a partial like a restaurant really, but they're serving it into takeout.
Yeah.
And I had baked salmon with potatoes and asparagus, $14.
Yeah. No, I know.
You know,
I know. The barbecue place up here, I get a fucking potato like this,
Yeah.
full of brisket, sour cream, cheese, chives,
yeah,
a small macaroni, which is a Canadian large,
yeah.
and a small pop for $17.
Oh man,
It's like I'm.
that's not the one you sent me to the other day though. I went all the way up to the one in HEB.
That's the one.
Oh, that's the one.
That's the one.
That's a walk, man. That's a.
I'm so used to the skip and the jump everywhere. So,
Oh yeah, okay.
did you end up eating there?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, it's good.
It was good. Yeah.
No, it's the Texas portion size is.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You can eat 2 sides.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Not to mention the real high-end feeder places like these barbecue joints. You'll see 4-hour lineups.
Okay.
The portions, everything's Fred Flintstone size, ribs and stuff, and
I love it.
The coleslaw comes into like a chalice of like. There's a pound of slaw in there, and you've got all this beef. Where do you think this? I'm putting this in my pockets before I leave. So, Canada show business, crisscross. You make some trips to the UK. You go over to the US, and then the 90s things kind of ramp up for like live work, I guess. Right?
Yeah, well, corporate work. I was doing a lot of corporate work, right? Which is where the money is, or was. It is no longer.
Yeah.
The bottom fell out. Well, the bottom fell out of everything at 9/11.
Yeah.
Basically, that was the first domino.
Yeah. That's just when I got my immigration lawyer.
Really?
Yeah, I was just
Wow.
like, fuck. I was so pissed. No, 9/11, right? Yeah, or that was what,
The world, the first fuckery of the world in my lifetime was 9/11.
Yeah.
And after that, nothing was ever the same. Flying was never the same.
Shoes off.
Fuck it. I used to love flying.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
You know? And
No, it's the Greyhound in the sky.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And
not
then-
bad.
and then
Pack
after-
a lunch and you'll be fine.
And now it's like, what? If you're not rich, now it's like, I'm going to get to the airport a day before my flight and sleep over just in case I have to be there at 6 in the morning when customs opens so that I can. It's just such a fuck. Yeah. And in 2008 was the next fuckery, the banking deal.
Yeah, I was
Right.
in London at the time,
Yeah.
and all the gigs just started disappearing.
Yeah.
They just disappeared. I moved to LA that year.
So critical thing that happened there. Was companies just decided, well, we can't, in these tight times, we can't be just throwing money away on entertainment,
Yeah.
right? So
Cuts.
But what they need to have they can justify it if they're bringing in like a banking expert or, you know, some kind of speaker on a topic. And some of those guys are funny. Like, they're make a funny speech. And the thing about that is, like, if you hire someone to be a comedian for your company, and they're like really funny, later you'd ask them and say, oh yeah, it was. But if you hire someone who's just supposed to give a seminar, and they happen to be funny, oh,
you're
great.
a legend.
Yeah.
I've done 3 corporate gigs in 30 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so what's happening to me now?
Back is what's happened to you, and I might have an exaggerated.
You may have an exaggerated version of this. Is I'll get calls. I get them still occasionally, and they'll be like, "We want to hire you to entertain our group, but we don't want anything that might be racist or might be sexist or might be, and we don't want, and we don't want." And I'm like, "Well, you don't want me."
Yeah.
You know, I'm not even sure you want comedy, to be honest.
Yes. Yeah, when you start making a pecking order, you may as well be the Winnipeg Comedy Festival. I remember they'd come and showed everybody what subjects were the only things that they would allow as applications.
But the reason for that is they have to. It's all the same pool of public money, right?
Yeah.
So they
I
have
get
to
it.
differentiate the look of the show.
Yeah.
That's why Winnipeg Festival is a theme show, and Halifax Festival is let's just shoot a comedian doing comedy somewhere that would be the most inconvenient. And so it'll be in a mall.
I go
and they'll
back,
cut around and jump around.
Yeah.
And I love the Halifax people, and I mean the people running the show and the people of Halifax.
Sure, I love.
But I know that they have to do it like that for these reasons. But it's not a way to watch comedy.
No, I remember one of your jokes. I don't know if it kind of applies to this, but you'd go. We had a female comedian.
Let me tell it.
Okay, yeah.
So, it doesn't apply anymore, but at the time I thought it certainly applied.
I think it applies more than ever.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah. You're just a little gun shy. That's all.
Yeah, I know. So I had a bit about getting speeding tickets and quotas, and then because everything is a quota, you go to a comedy show and you're going to see a female comedian, a gay comedian, an ethnic comedian, a funny comedian.
Yeah, no, I get it.
It doesn't apply as much as
Oh, I use it. I go. My friends will say this guy's so and so, and he's a nice guy. I go, but you've never said he was funny in any of the conversation.
Right.
You told me you apologized for his lack of ability before you even introduced me to him by saying, my friend is a really good guy. He's a comedian. Oh, really? I'd rather have a funny asshole than a good guy.
Yeah, that's true.
This reminds me of Hamilton quite a bit.
Yeah, well, the whole area, Hamilton.
Yeah.
I lived in Oakville for 20 years. Well, more than that. I mean, the family moved to Oakville in 1977. I had just moved away here and there.
And you said, when we were going through some family trees yesterday, you had mentioned that you had Finnish roots, which makes a lot of sense right now.
Yeah. So my grandmother is Finnish, and I think that my grandfather was Swedish, but close to Finlander. I mean, really doesn't make that much of a difference.
They would say different, but I've.
And then on the other side is Scottish. So basically, my ancestors are the Anglo-Saxons, or the pasty Scottish people, and the Vikings who invaded them.
Yeah, and you run into those type of people in Scandinavia, and you're like, that's a fucking Viking gene right there. That guy's 6'4", he's 19.
Yeah.
And his arms are as big as my legs, and his face is tattooed.
David Barry used to do a great joke. This guy's got arms like, no, what do you say? I have arms like that. I have arms like that, but they're attached to my hip.
my old improv partner.
David married?
No.
Oh.
No. As far as I know, David's doing great, but quite a setup. It's interesting. It's amazing what you can do with hot sauce and condoms. That's my accountant, by the way. Things are fine, he says. He says, and the voices in his head say.
Just let me go through these files.
Yeah.
I've got your accounts in this bag.
With the Band-Aids and blood on it.
Where did I put the duplicate?
Have you got a chance to see any music since you've been here?
No!
Because
See, now I'm angry that I haven't.
Because you can hear it coming out of 6th Street.
Oh,
All the
yeah,
bars.
okay, so what I do is I walk along 6th Street.
Yeah.
Right? And I can stand and listen from outside for a couple seconds here and there, right? And so what I do on 6th Street is I walk along one side of seats and then the other side,
Yeah.
and I try to see which bar I think I would feel oldest in.
Yeah. Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Oh,
There's a lot of that.
look at that.
I had a homeless lady tell me go and fuck myself just up here before.
Okay. Let's take a picture of that.
Yeah, let's do it. And we're back.
We are. We actually got a pretty good, this is the kind of weather you want for this.
Yes.
You don't want it too bright.
Yes.
It's going to because we're both pasty fellas and we'll just evaporate into the background.
Oh, I've
Light
done that.
bouncing.
I've had some hot walks with a few people, yeah. No, this is great. I knew that there wouldn't be so many tourists on the street because of the overcast, which
Yeah.
is fine. This is like a nice day in Vancouver, really.
Yeah, it is, I guess.
No, that's where I started. I left in spring of spring of 93 to Vancouver to pursue comedy.
Where'd you leave from?
Hamilton.
Okay, but
could
you not have pursued comedy?
I couldn't have pursued life in Hamilton at that time. I
Okay.
was running from everything,
Okay.
and including the city itself. It was just not I don't know. The environment was just volatile, toxic. It was not a place to tell your working class family you're going to get into ballet. You know? Yeah, so I hid it from them.
So you got into ballet?
I got a ballet.
Did you really?
No. But if you're going to people that work in steel and you say you want to get into show business, it's
Right.
like telling them that you're joining ballet.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, they're just like, what do you mean you're in the arts?
Yeah.
What are you, bisexual? Just tell us.
You
know?
making any money at this?
Yeah, that's, yeah. No, and I'll never make any money.
Right, exactly. That's how it is. So, your mother is always like, well, dear, we want you to be happy and do what makes you happy,
Yeah.
and we support you. And your father's always like, you making any money at this?
You're going to starve. You're going to starve.
Those people are a dime a dozen.
Well, was Toronto your home club? I guess so, right?
Well, yeah, it was the first pro club that I ever, yeah.
Yorkville.
Yes.
And who was on the lineup?
Oh boy, it'd be like Ron Vaudry, Larry Horowitz, Howard Nemitz, Evan Carter,
Evan never
Lawrence
aged.
Morgenstern. He still hasn't aged.
He still hasn't aged.
It's unbelievable.
It's crazy. Evan Carter has not aged. He
Unbelievable.
looks 36.
I remember going out on my first Western tour, first Canadian tour.
Yeah.
With me, Evan, Ron, and
Wow.
yeah, and Mark.
The good, the bad, the ugly.
And Mark.
Matthews?
And Larry Horowitz too.
Jesus.
Yeah, so, and Evan, right? I remember this because we're on a plane. It's my first time going anywhere really,
Yeah.
in a professional capacity. And we're on a plane and I'm all excited and I can't sleep. I'm 22 years old,
Yeah.
21 or whatever. I look over and Evan is crashed, you know, and then I couldn't sleep anywhere, and Evan could sleep anywhere.
Yeah.
Like he was so, you know, on trains and things like that. And now I can sleep anywhere, and unfortunately at any time. So.
Yeah, you learned that the idea of stretching out on a soft surface is not only the odds are you're going to be in transit or worse.
Right. I love doing comedy, but as I move out from that spotlight, everything outside the spotlight of comedy is a fucking pain in the ass and so stressful. And since I'm not good at walking and talking, I probably should be on a wider sidewalk. But I'm just gonna peer over Jason's shoulder every couple seconds with my points.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I have plantar fasciitis. How long are we gonna go walk all over Austin for this? I'm limping now.
we got to do 6 laps on the track.
Someone's gonna introduce me as a veteran, and they're not gonna think comedy. They're gonna, oh man, what war was he in? I'll be limping to the stage.
You got to do that. Just old Ironside. Yeah, I know it's.
Although it is easier to go uphill.
Oh,
Downhill is much. No, in general. Like, don't you find walking uphill is purposeful and easier to do, and walking downhill is easy to do, but like on steep hills I'm talking about.
I think it puts less stress on your knees going up.
Yeah, that might be it. Yeah, because you're trying to stop. Yeah.
You're lifting above your hip.
That's right. Yeah.
I think.
Anyway.
Knees. So tell us about all the coke and the whores of the 80s. No, I remember the Comedy Store. I'd run into comics that were headliners into America that I'd never crossed paths before. And they would relay their stories of comedy in the 80s in America. And how much money they were making. What was your best year?
I don't know, somewhere in the 80s, I guess. In the 200 grand maybe.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
In the 80s?
Yeah.
And because I've never known you to be a drug addict or a drinker, you never, so would you spend
I'm a pot smoker, but I'm not an addict. I tell myself every day as I smoke. Yeah. But you would know. But I never would get into hard drugs. I've still never ever tried cocaine, and why would I at this point?
You and Harlan Williams. He says he's never even seen it before.
Oh, I've seen it.
Yeah.
So I remember doing a gig in Buffalo. It was Buffalo Yuks, I think.
Okay.
And we were at some place afterwards. I don't even remember why. Because Buffalo. No, it was Rochester. No, wrong again, Buffalo. Buffalo's the only place I've ever seen a gun in a bar.
Wow.
Right? And I was like, oh wow, that's actually a gun. You know, and it's just sitting there. I don't know if it was a cop or anything like that. And so we end up at this party, and there was, as they say, a small mountain of white powder, and some very tough-looking, bikerish kind of looking people. And so that was and I didn't have any or have anything. I was just like, stayed for a few minutes had to decide if every single one of the people in the room was probably someone I'd probably, anyway, very young. I was very young at the time, and it just seemed that it might be the wrong demographic.
Mom would not approve.
It might be that. Anyway, so that's my, oh, sorry.
My son.
All right.
Hey, free toilet paper. You can just pick it up and use it right there.
Right there. The homeless don't. Why aren't they putting out more toilet paper?
This is the institution of blind. They bought all this probably in 1820. This is all blind for blind people. I guess some family must have donated this property. What might be one of the biggest real estate things, but yeah, it's a. I've never seen a school for the blind so big, and neither are they. Do you see any parallels between the comedy boom of the 80s and what's kind of this grunge comedy that's taken off here in Austin?
Yeah, but what's in Austin is fueled by this Death Star.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist anywhere else.
Yes.
Right?
It's a sun.
It's
a sun.
Right. So it's very cool what's here. And like, if I were younger, I would move here.
Yes. If you're under 30, you'd be stupid not to move here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know, it's a supply and demand, and you know, there's like 12 full-time comedy clubs, and there's only so many slots, and the more heat there is on a place, the more comics is. So there are many more opportunities, but there also are many more people crawling for those opportunities.
Yeah, 101.
Yeah, it's not, as you said, what did you say, 10 millionaires and 500 open micers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Six comedy clubs, 3 of them are okay, and yeah, 500 open micers, and they just cycle in and out. It's like a slaughterhouse. They just come in on hooks. They live in their cars. They exhaust all their resources, get hooked on drugs, and then go back home and headline their amateur nights in their hometown for the rest of
Because they were in Austin.
Yeah.
They had their name in the bucket.
Yeah. And they bombed, but that's their win, right, in their career.
Yeah.
I got on. But it's like, let's make a deal, and the price is right, with Howard Stern and Johnny Carson. It's like 2 game shows and 2 talk shows smooshed. No, I only signed up 3 times now.
At some point, I'm going to need to sit down for a little bit.
Yeah, we're coming up to a corner up here. We can grab a seat.
Cool.
Look at that. Rob Zombie's House of 1,000 Corpses. There's a lot of places that look like that in Canada.
There are. That's true.
It's not good though.
No, it's not good, but they do exist.
My last trip across the country was pretty sad.
Yeah.
Pretty sad.
It's pretty bad what's being done to Canada.
Yeah, and you can see it's clearly something's being done to Canada.
Being done,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's fucking evil.
Well, we signed that deal with China, I'm sure you...
Yeah, fuck.
I know. It sounds like it's like your set list reverse osmosis. They signed it.
I know.
What a debacle. What an absolute debacle. Now, if you had a chance to pull up stock and literally leave the country, would you accept the one-way ticket
To
escape Canada?
No, I like Canada. Canada exists outside the people who are trying to destroy it.
Yeah.
We just have to nurture that Canada and not the one that's being foisted onto us. I don't know. It's,
Yeah.
You know, what could I say that would get me canceled?
Yeah. Well, I'll say
And it doesn't even, because I'm already canceled. Like, it's not like I have this massive career right now.
Yeah.
Oh, I got canceled. Well, there goes another. Of
That's
the,
how you get relevancy now, is to draw in negative energy.
Yeah.
And then capitalize on that pain by selling tickets to other people's turmoil. So you got to find a group, you got to isolate them and cut them down as much as possible. It seems to be working for a bunch of people.
Works on comedians.
It does work on comedians. No, I
I'm
recognize.
a fucking old guy now. Oh, my foot here. That was not a good one.
That was a
That
rollerblading
felt
incident.
like a knee buckling out.
A knee buckle.
But that's all right. We'll be down on flatter land soon.
Wouldn't it be great if it was 42 out when we were doing this in fur coats and rollerblades?
No, it would not.
No, it's not bad. We've only been walking for 40 minutes.
Yeah. Well, I did some walking earlier, so.
No, it's nice and quiet. The blind people are at rest. You think you'll be back before the end of the year?
Oh, I would like to, but I mean, it's a fun little escape for me, but it's hard to justify,
Yeah.
the cost to my wife.
Yeah.
Right? She wouldn't want to. She'd enjoy the city, but she wouldn't want to come here if I didn't want to.
Yeah.
Right? But I could get on at various places and come in and have a fun little. I'm not gonna, be another mouth that Austin has to feed. But I've met some people now, and I could probably, in a few months' time, give them some advance notice and say I'm just going to be in for a week, and it'd be fun if I could see you again. And, not certainly trying to get booked at any of these places.
Oh, but you did see Brian Holtzman.
I did meet Brian, yeah, very, very briefly after a show. He didn't know I was a comedian. I caught him as he got off stage, and the little boy was fucking crying. It's very fun. Anyway.
Do you think he worries about getting canceled?
No, I don't think he does, but I'm just saying, super nice guy in the short, brief period.
Yeah, Peach.
Yeah, and anyway, I said if he's coming to Ottawa, I would, love to see him again.
Uh-huh.
Sounds like a dating thing.
Yeah. No.
Well, we'll set you up with Brian if we'll pay for the date. What is it? Love connection.
Brian's going to be in Winnipeg.
Yeah, I'm not going to be in Winnipeg.
No.
No.
It's shit.
No, Winnipeg's fine, but I'm not going to be there. That's where we started. So the first tour in '82 was we kicked off in Winnipeg.
Yeah.
So in
Motor City Hotel, the one it was in the basement, right? The Yuks.
I know. It was in the hotel, like the nice hotel at the time.
Oh, I'm thinking of Saskatoon.
No. So this is Winnipeg.
I bet.
And so it was 1982. So in 2022, I went back to Winnipeg to do a show to commemorate the first time, like 40 years since. Yeah. It's the 40th anniversary of my first Western Canadian tour, I guess you would say. So dispensary, that's not legal pot?
No. Oh, it's legal, yeah, but it's Delta 8. They do something to the weed. They take out most of the THC.
No, well.
And they reduce it to a legal limit.
Okay, well, some of the stuff that I seem to have from this gentleman that I got it from at the store seems pretty good, but it was like $50.
That's what I mean.
Anyway. Those Waymos or something.
It's nice.
I sat in the front seat this time. Just to,
like a
observe.
psycho.
Well, just to observe the whole, get better pictures of everything.
That's how they tell if you're a serial killer or not. If you sit in the front of a Waymo.
No, they sit in the back and crouch down behind the seat. That's how they tell. First victim appearing on the left.
Well, there's that Rainy Street Killer. They're pulling guys out of that river.
I've heard.
Like one a month or something like that.
Seriously, one a month.
Something like that.
Wow.
I remember distinctly at least 7 to 10 murders last year. And the guys they all have the same appeal, I guess, or physicality.
Okay. And what is that?
White. Brian says it's him.
No, I know.
Did he talk about that? He goes, I'm trying to kill the gay in me.
No, but
he's strangling all these gay guys.
He's doing the bit about drowning. Yeah, it's very funny.
No, you can't even repeat it.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah. He goes, I can't stop doing it. Maybe I'm trying to kill the gay in me.
Oh, jeez.
No, I was going through old videotapes from the Groundhog Pub.
Oh no, from the Groundhog?
I got
you have video.
I have loads of video. Do you think this is kind of the view of a tapeworm? Yeah. The asshole. Well, on that note, we're back from commercial. I hope you guys enjoyed your coffees. It is a giant donut. The weirdest part is that's a donut holding a beer.
Oh yeah. Well, maybe you can get a beer there because it's America after all, and you can do pretty much whatever you want if you have the money.
Does that look like her head was put on last minute?
Which one now?
The lady with just the giant jugs. Her neck is like, I think the guy just drew her tits and ass and then said, you got to put a head on that, you're going to get us all fired.
I would imagine that's probably the thought process. Get the body right and then sort out the head.
These old buildings.
Hey, let me ask you something.
In Yorkville.
You've performed comedy in many places that I have not. Have you heard the term, and I've heard this bandied about, old head?
Yeah.
Okay, I've never heard this.
Yeah,
because when I posted our little picture there, I said Canadian OGs.
Yeah.
And they said
old heads.
Yeah. And I was talking to a kid who had said he played in New York, and he said it's not, the scene isn't the same here. We don't have this is the point I was going to get to.
Okay.
Earlier, remember I said, and then I have ADD and they smoke pot, so how lethal a combination is that for?
I haven't even turned on the camera yet, but thanks for playing along. You were saying
so I was
old
talking,
heads.
Yeah, old heads.
Yeah, old heads.
Because I was talking to this kid who had been to New York and a few other scenes, and he said it's not like it was there, where we have all these guys who have been doing it for like 30 years, the old heads.
Yeah.
The old heads. And I'd never heard the term before.
Yeah.
And it's certainly nothing I've heard in Canada, you know?
No, I think because it's hip-hop jargon.
Old heads is?
Yeah.
So
the
is
first
OG,
time,
though.
Yeah, exactly. It takes
I'd rather be an OG than an old head.
Yeah, but an old head means lots of knowledge.
Wow.
Like a knowledgeable old is
if
not.
You want knowledge, it's in this old head, but good luck accessing it.
Because you're high.
Well, yeah. Austin. It is a cool city, I gotta say. It's but coming in just for a week, I'll have like every other city, it probably becomes same old at a point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if I lived here, every Monday night I'd be throwing my name in that bucket. Which is what's drawing me as insanity. Anyway, so getting back to the conversation about old heads, he lamented the fact that there really aren't a lot of guys in Austin who are mentor types.
No.
And that's what the scene needs, he thinks.
Yeah, but they're not interested in getting.
Of course they're not.
Yeah. That's why I put my energy into these Canadian guys.
Ah.
Yeah, but that's all drying up for me. I've given the comedy gravy train till the end of this year,
Yeah.
and then I'm shutting it all down. I'm shutting it all down. They call me Harriet Tubman of Austin. And speaking of Austin, that's where the famous Joe Rogan sign was sitting in the window.
What is?
You know the one behind him on the student?
Yeah.
Well, it was right there for when I moved here, and then somebody bought it for him.
Oh, so this is like the guy he's the artist who owns this shop.
Yeah.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
In
that's
fact, just on the other side of this wall here
Yeah.
is the famous Austin sign. So I took you all the way from the famous South Congress sign to this mural here, which is the sister mural to the South Congress.
Okay.
And you made it to Austin.
Yeah.
55 or 56?
Look at that. Look at
Do you
that.
know 55 or 56?
I do not.
No.
No. Well, that looks like something that's
Blues Brothers almost. Sometimes I like to just close my eyes and trust my instincts and just start walking across 4-lane highways.
Oh, you don't want, well, you probably do want that on camera.
Yeah. I could win 10 grand on America's Funniest Home Video. How many people a year do you think are killed using selfie sticks?
A lot. Probably. I found myself walking off curbs accidentally when I was downtown.
Okay.
Before I figured out how much uneven pavement there is.
Yeah.
Or you get to the end of, you're at a corner and it's not like a nice little step down. It's like a fucking cliff you're walking off of. And then there's like the bike lanes or whatever. And then, anyway.
There's a lot of high and low.
Yeah, and there's a lot of
high and low.
Your foot's just going to come crashing down now because you didn't realize the level was changing.
Well, here we are. This is the end. Thanks for being on the show, Glenn.
Hey, that was fun.
We avoided heat stroke.
Yeah.
You're still mobile, and
should I be plugging websites or anything?
We got any upcoming dates?
I got Niagara Falls, Yuks, February 6 and 7, and I got nothing after that. And what was I gonna say? You can follow me everywhere at getmoreglenn with one n.com. Not getmoreglenn with one n. Just getmoreglenn. Yeah, it's probably be super here anyway.
Yeah, we'll put it in. We'll put a watermark.
Yeah.
In the corner. Go to jasonrouse.com. There's shit coming up. I'm gonna put out an album. I think on Valentine's Day. And stay tuned.